Yeah, I've been broadcasting for like 5 minutes. But it was not live. I was just talking to myself. Hey, what up, baby? Welcome one and all to the Meaning Stream. It's a beautiful day to be alive. Smash that like.
Akira. He's got 12.
Welcome, brothers and welcome, sisters, to the Meaning Stream number 232. Is that the right number? Did I get that right? Did I get that right? These numbers are so big now, they're difficult for me to summon. I think that is the right number. What a great number. What an auspicious number. Yo, how you doing, brothers and sisters? Make some noise with your blessed wave emojis. I'm going to throw the chat on screen. And then we can see you. We can see how beautiful you are. You can see how beautiful you are, brothers and sisters. It is a beautiful day to be alive. Here at the peak of recorded human civilization. I am indeed Akira the Dawn. And we are indeed, because it's Monday, and that's what we're doing right now. We're doing a Jbpwave live set. Jbpwave Chronicle Part 4. Part 4. Part 4, and it's for you, and most definitely you. Yeah. And what a perfect special time for it, you know? We did the MEANINGWAVE Top 50 yesterday. Shouts out to everyone who was here for the MEANINGWAVE Top 50. Counting down. The official MEANINGWAVE Top 50 for the month of October 2020 AD. And in 2020 AD, the most streamed MEANINGWAVE song, in 2020 AD, the year that Tom Hanks and his homies, the blessed Winnie the Pooh gang, you know, spread the healthy disease across the world. But they also blessed us with TikTok, and this song went viral on TikTok, causing it to smash to the top of the charts. The song was Art, featuring Jordan B. Peterson. The last track from the last Jordan B. Peterson album. It's being streamed millions of times a day, apparently. That's what the math suggests. And of course it is in this most auspicious month. The month when your boy returned. Like the very phoenix. Like Batman R.I.P. when he punches his fist through the earth by the gravestone, you know? Bop! Feels like it works. And so indeed, we had, we've been counting down. We've been doing a Jbpwave set every week of October, counting down to the new record, which I finished yesterday. Finished it yesterday. The day I finished it was the day that Jordan B. Peterson had his first #1 on the MEANINGWAVE Top 50. Amazing. And today here we are for Jbpwave Chronicle. What up, BS Taylor says, all your duck belong to us. The Twitch chat is overlapping the YouTube chat. That sounds beautiful. Sounds very joyous. Yeah! And it is no longer. Once again, make some noise, brothers and sisters. We are here to celebrate the glory of MEANINGWAVE. All the young dudes carry the news. All the young dudes carry the news. All the young dudes carry the news. All the young dudes carry the... Yeah. If you ever get there, see you when you get there. I'll see you when you get there. If you ever get there. By Jove. By Jove, by Jove, by Jove. Hurrah! Smash that like, baby, we going in. Yes, we are. In is where we're going. Yesterday, then, we finished the new Jbpwave album that's now off in Australia, being polished by Jove and by an Australian. And of course, I'm not one to rest on my laurels. Oh, finished the break. Here's my impression of a normal artist / band. Oh, finally finished an album. Right, I'm gonna go fuck around for a couple of years. Genius needs to go fuck around for a couple of years after it's been genius. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go and spend some time in nightclubs and, I might get in some recreational drugs. I might do that, yeah. And maybe I'll go on tour for a while and, drink a lot of whiskey. Maybe 2 years, 3 years, something like that, yeah. That's what I'll do. Not I! Akira the Don finishes an album. Starts another one. Started the new Christmas album today. Guess how many songs we did today? Guess how many? Guess. I'm gonna wait for some guesses. Wait for some guesses from the chat. You have to wait for the chat to catch up a bit. I can't wait till this is really, 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 really instant live, Strong School 28, guesses 5. Sheila Ferrerio, guesses 8. D-Man, guesses 5. 47 Yuri, 47 guesses 4. Word XP over 9,000. Andrew Pullman 3. Dano 18 and 4 3. Mount Photo Lounge is the winner. The winner is Mount Photo Lounge with 6. Yes, 6 songs. Vroom, vroom, vroom. Man, we're supercharged with Christmas energies. Christmas energy, it feels like it was very easy for me to switch on the Christmas. Partly because, Christmas that's something you carry with you in your heart. Like, once you've really, really nailed what Christmas is all about, then you've got that forever. And then you can summon it at will, the Christmas spirit, the Christmas feeling, You can pull that out of the sky, baby, and you can imbue yourself with its wonder and glory and goodness. Yeah! Donna 1804 says, don't forget Thanksgiving. You're an American now. Bless it. How could I forget Thanksgiving? But the point is you need to get your Christmas records done in time for them to come out in time for Christmas, You have to be ahead of the game. Like regular music industry types, they record their Christmas albums in the spring. they have longer lead times than me. Pretty tight lead times. What up, Mimi B? Good to see you. Says the background is amazing. Isn't it a lovely background? It is a lovely background. Shouts out to that lovely background. Andrew Pullman says, who needs Thanksgiving when you're thankful every day? Shouts out to the whole crew. Yes, we are. That's YouTube hero Alex. What up, Sheila Ferraria? Did MEANINGWAVE Radio go away again? Oh yeah, I've got to bring that back. It was being weird, I had to take it down, and then I didn't put it back up because I got sidetracked making Christmas songs. I'll put it back after this stream. Hurrah! Verily, verily. Let's get merrily.
Akira.
Yeah.
He's got clout. He's got clout. He's got clout.
Okay. Boom. All right, we're about to go in with this epic set. It's going to be epic set. It's going to be a very epic set. Who's ready for an epic set, by Jove? What up, Sheila says, I had to catch up on the Twitch streams today. Oh, because there was no MEANINGWAVE Radio for you to listen to? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, I hope you enjoyed catching up on the Twitch streams. Mimi B is ready. Word XP is ready. All right, well, before we get going, you know what we got to do. We got an international high five to do. And all we got to do for the international high five is discover the national, international nature of the audience. So please let me know where you be resting at. And let me know one thing that you're thankful for today, since we're because that's a good thing to do. Thanksgiving every day in the MAZ. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful for the gift. The gift of the gift. Like that I am able to do what it is that I love to do, baby. I'm so grateful for that. Jacob Chaka. Austin, Texas, thankful for my family. Sheila Ferraria, Epic Works. Michael Robars, Louisville, Kentucky, USA. Andrew Pullman, thankful for my new house. Sheila Ferraria, Theo's new hometown. Hubby being home and happy. Hey, shout out to Nashville, Tennessee. It's like a little pub quiz. Theo, who's Theo? Where's he live? Theo Vaughn lives in Nashville, yeah. Jeffrey, checking in from Canada. The Kyle Archangel says we're all ready. Zachary Miller's posting all them 5 hands. Douglas Holloway, Poland, Texas, got my favorite daughter with me getting that Chick-fil-A. Yeah, got a favorite daughter. Where's Tiffany? Where's the non-favorite daughter? Steve S, North Texas, thankful drove. Look, we got a lot of Texas in the house today. Shouts out to Texas. Steve X, North Texas, drove 2 hours to the doctor. Got to listen to Morning Wave. Oh. And the following raids. Glorious. Shouts out to the raiding crew. Shouts out to Steve Disco Newsom. Word XP's in Toronto. Thankful for my friend Mady, who helped me have an epic workout today. Known him since early elementary school days. That's nice. What up, Matt Lally in Fla Fla? Thank you for the support, brother. Says thankful for the new What's Wave album. Yeah, there's a brand new What's Wave album. Did you know? Brand new What's Wave album. How to be a better person on all streaming platforms. Turner 1804 is in Queens, New York. Thankful for the pipe fitters making all the epic plumbing. Oh yeah, shouts out to all the plumbers, baby. Shouts out to all the Marios, all the Luigis. Turner 1804, we said you. Alex and BJJ. Guadalajara City, Mexico. Shouts out to Mexico all day, baby. 47 Yuri, living in New York, hailing from Slovakia. Thankful having an opportunity to study what I want in love. That is nice. Isn't that wonderful? What a time to be alive. Unlock creativities. Thank you for brightening my evening. Thank you for being here, baby. Mimi B is in Ohio, like always, and thankful for being here because I love your streams and I'm thankful for the new car I have. Hey! Shouts out to Mimi B's new car. Ain't nothing like a new car, baby. Ain't nothing like that new car smell. How would I know? I've never owned a car. I've just been around other people's. Cindy Bailey, hi fam, at home. Grateful for What's Wave 4.1 arrived on vinyl today. What? What's Wave 6 arrived on vinyl today for Cindy Bailey. Oh, that's amazing. That's awesome. Glad you got it. Carl Archangel, thankful to have my family and my pup with me. Kevin Gruber in Salt Flat, Texas, grateful for cars and paid vacation. Epic activities every day. Kyla Sherrod, Florida. Thankful it is 65 degrees for the first time in a long time. Temperature cooler, heart warmer. Yeah. Jordan Marsh, New Zealand, wanting to hear the sounds. You're about to hear some sounds, baby. Mount Photo Lounge, much love from Phoenix, Arizona. Grateful for this beautiful life we are living. Marius Perez in St. Louis, Missouri. Thankful for being able to get my work done today. Nice. YouTube Hero Alex says there's people in the Discord who've posted pictures of their vinyls that came in today as well. Oh, I'm going to have to go look at that. And the MLG legend is in the house. Pursue the greatest of all possible good. Hey, Akira. What up, no? Cody Taylor says thankful for Alex. Yeah, YouTube Hero Alex is doing epic work. Yeeting the unwavy. Bravo. Well, we got the community locked in, we got the gang locked in, we got the internationalities locked in. You know what you do.
He's got clout.
You know what it is. 3, 2, 1. Hurrah! The 5 was international and high. The day was beautiful to be alive in. Make some noise. We're going in with that Jbpwave Chronicle Part 4.
My daughter was very ill. She had juvenile rheumatoid arthritis, and when she was between the ages of 14 and 16, it first destroyed her hip, which had to be replaced, and then it destroyed the ankle on her other leg, which had to be replaced. She walked around for 2 years on broken legs, and she was taking massive doses of opiates and could hardly stay awake, and she had this advanced autoimmune disease, which produced all sorts of other symptoms that were just as bad as the joint degeneration, but which are harder to describe. And so it's just bloody brutal. You know, and as a test of your faith, there's almost nothing that's more direct than a serious illness inflicted upon an innocent child. But what to do in a situation like that? Because everyone is going to have a situation like that in some sense. You know, you'll be faced with illness in the people that you love. And one of the things you do when you're overwhelmed by crisis is you shorten your time frame. You can't think about next month. Maybe you can't even bloody well think about next week, or maybe not even tomorrow. Because now is just so overwhelming that that's all there is. And that's what you do. You cut your time frame back until you can cope with it. And if it's not the next week that you see how to get through, then it's the next day. And if it's not the next day, then it's the next hour. And if it's not the next hour, then it's the next minute. And you know, people are very, very, very tough. And it turns out that if you face things, you can put up with a lot more than you think you can put up with, and you can do it without becoming corrupted. And she did recover because she figured out what was wrong with her and then took the necessary steps to fix it, which is nothing short of a bloody miracle. You have to be alert when you're suffering. You have to be alert to the beauty in life, the unexpected beauty in life. There's this cat that lives across the street from us called Ginger. cats really aren't domesticated. Technically speaking, they're still wild animals, but they kind of like people. God only knows why, but they do, you know. And so Ginger will come wandering over and let you pet her. You know, you have to look for that little bit of sparkling crystal in the darkness when things are bad. You have to look and see where things are still beautiful. You narrow your time frame. You be grateful for what you have. That can get you through some very dark times, and maybe even successfully if you're lucky. But even if unsuccessfully, then maybe it's only tragic and not absolute hell. You can do that, you know, in the worst situation. You can make it only tragic and not hell. There's nothing worse at a deathbed than to see the people there fighting. The death is bad enough, but you can hate that, terrible as it is, and make it into something that's absolutely unbearable. And maybe I think, and this is sort of what I closed the book with, if we didn't all attempt to make terrible things even worse than they are, then maybe we could tolerate terrible things that we have to put up with in order to exist. And maybe we could make the world into a better place, you know? And it's what we should be doing and what we could be doing because we don't have anything better to do. And that's what the book is about. And that's the end of 12 Rules for Life.
You talk sometimes about weak men. Why are weak men such a problem?
Well, weak people are a problem in general. And I don't mean physically weak. I mean cowardly and deceitful. I'm thinking it more in terms of moral weakness. There's a variety of reasons. First of all, if you can't support your own weight, let's say, then someone else has to do it. That's not good. If you don't pick a forthright and useful and noble pathway through life, then you'll become bitter and too hurt by the tragedy of existence, and then you tend to seek your revenge wherever you can get it. And that's not good. So it's a mistake on all fronts. It's not good for you, it's not good for your family, it's not good for the community. It's certainly not a good medium to long-term strategy because life is very, very difficult and you have to be prepared for that. That's strength. And necessary. And necessary. I had a watcher the other night at my lecture in Oslo, and he wrote me a letter. He was a 17-year-old boy. His father had died suddenly about 6 months before, and he found his dad when he was dying and was very, very shocked and horrified and hurt by what had happened. And I had recommended on my YouTube lectures that one thing you could aim for was to be the strongest person at your father's funeral. And so that's what he did. And he helped his mom, and he wrote a 200-word eulogy and got through it. And so, good for him. That's strength. That's strength. And necessary. I believe that people are stronger than their misfortunes. That's strength. And necessary. I believe that people are stronger than their misfortunes. one of the things that's so sad about what I'm doing, you know, I'm going all around the world and I'm talking to many, many people. I've talked to about 250,000 people in the last 6 months, and I offer encouraging words, you know, that I believe that people are stronger than their misfortunes. I believe that if you turn around and confront the vulnerability that's part and parcel of life, you'll find within yourself a strength that will transcend that. I believe that not only to be true, but supported by the best clinical evidence. It's important for lost young people, male and female alike, to develop a vision and take on some responsibility and understand that they have a vital role to play in the world. The lack of their best hurts everything. And the sad thing is that there's very many people who have not heard an encouraging word in their life. It takes so little to encourage them that it's rather tragic. That's strength. And necessary. I believe that people are stronger than their misfortunes. That's strength. And necessary. I believe that if you turn around and confront the vulnerability that's part and parcel of life, you'll find within yourself a strength that will transcend that. You know, I have people come up to me, many people every day in the lectures and on the street, who tell me I was in a bad place, I was struggling, I've been watching your lectures, I've been reading your book, I've put my life together, I'm trying to be responsible, tell the truth, things are way better. Thank you. Can't get any better than that. So, and that's
Amazing, makes some noise. That's strength. From the album Jbpwave Paradise, which is available on all streaming platforms by Joe. This next song is something of a gem, something of a slept-on classic that many people do not even know exists because it was tucked away on a little Christmas album a couple of years back. This is one of my favorite songs. This is called Birth of a Baby.
Of course, that's a lot of what's celebrated symbolically at Christmas. The idea of the lights on the trees is the return of illumination, right? Because the sun is starting to come back. All these things are layered on top of one another, and so it's a remarkable. It's one of the things that's really made me so struck as a consequence of studying Christianity, is that so many levels of meaning stack on top of one another in an isomorphic manner and support one another. You know, there's a cosmic story that's associated with Christmas, which is the death and rebirth of the sun. I mean, the actual solar orb. And then there's the more prosaic story of the birth of a baby, which is of course a miraculous event in everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Birth of a baby, which is of course a miraculous event in everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Levels of meaning stack on top of one another. The birth of a baby, which is of course a miraculous event in everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. So Christ is the eternal hope of mankind, just like an infant is the eternal hope of mankind. He's born in lowly circumstances and in extreme peril, right? Because all the firstborns are under death sentence, essentially. And there's an archetypal element to that, too, which is really important to understand, which is that even if the hero is divine, he's always born in the extreme danger that characterizes existence itself. So in some sense, that balance between tragedy and catastrophe, and tyranny and hope, that typifies Christmas in reality for day-to-day people is also built right into the story. I mean, they're in a manger, for God's sake, right? It's a stable. And so it's pretty unstable. And there's the more prosaic story of the birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Levels of meaning stack on top of one another. The birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. And then, of course, there's all these radical political events going on, and well, that's the way of mankind. Radical political and social events going on. That's the way of mankind. So then there's the more prosaic story of the birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Levels of meaning stack on top of one another. The birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. What? Everyone's life, everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Birth of a baby, which is, of course, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. Levels of meaning, levels of meaning. Miraculous event in everyone's life. Everyone's life, everyone's life, a miraculous event in everyone's life. What? Yeah. MAZ, make some noise. Merry Christmas. Every social animal, and even many animals who aren't social, are embedded in a dominance hierarchy.
Okay, let's go.
The dominance hierarchy has a structure. We couldn't call it a dominance hierarchy. Dominance hierarchy A, B, C, thousands of them across thousands of years. What's central to all of them? That's the pyramid of value. What question do you need answered about the pyramid of value? What's at the top? Because that's the ideal. That's the eye at the top of the pyramid. The golden Buddha in the lotus. It's the same thing. The same thing as the crucifix. And that has to do with something like the voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering. 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 The voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering. These are not arbitrary ideas. They're deeply rooted in biology and culture. They're as deeply rooted in biology as the dominance hierarchy is rooted in biology. And we already know the answer to that. The dominance hierarchy has been around for 350 million years. It's a long time. You don't get to just brush that off and say, well, morality is some sort of second-order cognitive problem. It's like, no, it's not. You have a counter at the bottom of your brain that keeps track of where you are in terms of your status, and it bloody well regulates the sensitivity of your emotions. So if you're at the bottom of the hierarchy, barely clinging on to the world, everything overwhelms you, and that's because
serotonin levels go up. You're less sensitive to negative emotion. You're less impulsive. You live longer. Everything works in your favor. Your immune system functions better, and you're oriented at least to some degree towards the medium and long-term future. And you can afford that because all hell isn't breaking loose around you all the time. And so then the question is there a way of being that increases the probability that you're going to move up dominance hierarchies? Well, that doesn't seem to be a particularly provocative proposition. Same thing as the crucifix.
What?
And that has to do with something like the voluntary acceptance and therefore transcendence of suffering. 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 The voluntary acceptance and therefore the transcendence of suffering. Okay, so back to Jung. See, Jung believed that once we had stopped populating the cosmos with gods, that they went inside. Think about it this way. Archaic person looks at the sky, uses his imagination to populate the sky. What's the sky? Well, it's the constellations. It's the domain of the gods. Well, why? Because the gods are what are out there beyond your understanding. Well, that's what you see when you look up at the sky. So you populate the night sky with figures of your imagination. So the gods are the things that you broadcast out of your imagination and see spread over the world. It's like the contents of your unconscious are manifesting themselves when you encounter the unknown. It's exactly what it is. How else could it be? You're projecting your fantasy onto what you don't understand. That's how you start to cope with what you don't understand. You populate the unknown with deities. Where did they come from? They came from your imagination. Well, what happens when you take them out of the world? Do they disappear? No, they just go back into your imagination. That's the same motif as rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Rescuing your dead father from the belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. Belly of the whale. The same idea is that the corpses of the gods inhabit your imagination. So where do you go if you need to revivify them? You go into your imagination.
Into your imagination, baby. Shouts out to everybody locked in. Is that MEANINGWAVE
Alive? Whoa, hey, what up, boys? Is that MEANINGWAVE Live Chronicle? Shouts out to Peterson. We got a brand new Jbpwave album coming. I'm just gonna drop a link in the chat to the Spotify playlist, the official MEANINGWAVE Jbpwave playlist. I should put a link for that in the description of this video as well, shouldn't I? Yes, I should, because that got updated in an epic fashion. You all should be following that. Yeah, very excited for you to hear this new Jbpwave material. I think you're gonna like it. You know, it's really never been better than this. And it could be so much worse.
It does seem to me that anyone who lives in the West, in the Western culture, this time in history, and in this place, and who isn't simultaneously grateful for that, is half blind. At least. Because it's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. So much worse. So much worse.
There was a paper published in Nature not so long ago, stating, for example, that an area twice the size of the US has greened in the last 15 years. There's more forests in the Northern Hemisphere than there were 100 years ago, and more forests in India and China than there were 30 years ago. And then this has gone along with a massively improved standard of living. The child mortality rate in Africa is now the same as it was in Europe 1952, which is a statistic that I just regard as absolutely miraculous. The rate of poverty is diminishing at an amazing rate, right? Between 2000 and 2012, we have poverty.
It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. So much worse. So much worse.
It's pretty hard on the Marxists, I would say, even though there is inequality, and inequality is a problem. First of all, it doesn't look like inequality can be placed at the feet of capitalism. It seems to me to be a far more intractable problem than that. Second, it's clear that the poor are getting richer despite the fact of inequality. And third, and this is hard on the environmentalists, I think, is that it turns out that if you get people's income up to about $5,000 a year in terms of gross domestic product, they actually start to care about the environment, which I suppose is because they're not worried about dying instantly that day or that week. And so we seem to be in this perverse situation for a pessimist where we can make people wealthy and we could make the world a better place simultaneously.
It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. It's never been better than this. And it could be so much worse. So much worse. So much worse. And it's highly likely that it will be so much worse. Because for most of human history, so much worse is the norm.
Is a very interesting symbol because the tree is the tree in the Garden of Eden, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, and the tree of life. The tree for Christmas is mostly the tree of life. So the structure that unites heaven with earth, and the lights on the tree symbolize or represent even illumination and the reemergence of light in the darkness. Light in the darkness. Light in the darkness. Was extracted in some sense from the pagan symbolism that existed there prior to Christianity. I mean, the tree idea, for example, the idea that there's a tree that unites heaven and hell, which is sort of something akin to Jacob's ladder, is a central tenet of shamanism. And there are all sorts of strange shamanic echoes that permeate Christianity and the Christmas story. Like Santa Claus is a good example. There's very interesting documentation about the relationship between the red and white of Santa Claus, for example, and the use of Amanita muscaria mushroom in the shamanic tradition. So yeah, it's a very, very deep and strange mixture of desert
desert and frigid cold and celebration. And I guess that's also partly what's given it such longevity as a celebration, even though we also seem to be doing everything we can to undermine that as fast as possible. Light in the darkness. Light in the darkness.
Alright, see you next, guys, for that light in the darkness.
Christmas is coming. Says the season. You know what happens. You know what that's all about. You know what that's all about, right? Christmas and that whole time of year. That's the coming of the hero. That's the coming of the hero, baby. That's time for you to let that hero out of you. We've been talking about this all year. It's getting close, baby. The hour is getting close. I hope you've been doing your kettlebells. You know what I mean? I hope you've been doing your exercises. Hey, what up, Aladdin? Our dollar. What's cracking, baby? Says, I got my What's Wave today. Is that what you said? Did you say you got your What's Wave today? Hoorah! Shouts out to everyone getting their vinyl. MEANINGWAVE exists. Imagine that. MEANINGWAVE exists! By Jove. Yeah, Aladdin, our dollar says, yo, I got my vinyls, Akira. Thank you, brother. I'm so happy. I am so glad. Make some noise. What a wonderful world, baby.
We don't understand the world. Like, I do think the world is more like a musical masterpiece than it is like anything else. And things are oddly connected. Now, you know, I know that sounds new agey and it sounds metaphysical. I'm saying bluntly, this is speculative, right? I'm feeling out beyond the limits of my knowledge. I'm not willing to dismiss the mysterious. The mysterious. I'm not willing to dismiss the mysterious. I've experienced the mysterious in a variety of different ways, and it's very mysterious. Very mysterious. We certainly know that we're bounded by ignorance, and there's far more going on than we know or can know. We do. The problem is when you start to speculate, it's a projection of your imagination. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because knowledge advances through projection of imagination. But the problem is, you can see yourself reflected back at you, and then it's self-fulfilling. And so you can see what you want. The mysterious. The mysterious. I'm not willing to dismiss the mysterious. I've experienced the mysterious in a variety of different ways, and it's very mysterious. Very mysterious. The most ancient ideas we have about the nature of reality are predicated on a certain presupposition. And the presupposition is this. There's two fundamental modes of being that characterize reality. One is the absolute. And absolute is the sum total of everything. So if you think about things in their most unbounded possible form, if you think of things in their infinite number of potential variations, you can think about that as one pole of reality. It appears classically that people have regarded their encounters with the absolute, which is all those multiple levels of being that are beyond your perceptual capacity, as equivalent to an encounter with God. The mysterious. The mysterious. I'm not willing to dismiss the mysterious. I've experienced the mysterious in a variety of different ways, and it's very mysterious. Very mysterious.
make some noise for the mysterious. All them wave emojis on the screen right now for the mysterious. What up, MC Fellow Lounge? What up, Spencer Barrett? What up, Micah Archangel? What up, Theodore? What up, Spencer? MAC! Yeah. What up, though? Jbpwave Chronicle 4. Heaven and Hell Part 1.
I think that you could get glimpses of heaven and glimpses of hell. I think that you can see people who live in hell. You can walk down the street and see them. For them it's eternal, because their pain is so overwhelming that it feels like it will last forever. It's also something that can engulf everyone, and has. Is there a metaphysical reality to it beyond that? I suspect so, but I don't know. I think that the heaven-like experience is pointers to the way that things could be. And we don't know how things could be if we really got our acts together. We don't know. We spend a lot of time in our fallen condition, wasting time, being resentful, working counterproductively, hurting other people, and cursing fate itself. Even doing all that, we've managed to make societies that are very functional and decent. If we spent 100% of our time working towards the good, instead of 50% of our time, or perhaps 51%, God only knows what we can bring about. And the sky's the limit. And then once we reach the limit of the sky, there's a sky beyond that would then be the limit, and so on and so forth. And so I think that heaven exists and that we can produce it.
We can produce it.
But we're not going to do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think that heaven exists and that we can produce it.
We can produce it.
But we're not going to do that by changing the behavior of other people.
I think that heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it. We're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think that heaven predicts we can produce it. We can produce it. We're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think that heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it. But we're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think that heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it. But we're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. What I do? You have the power. Heaven and Hell Part 1 from the Paradise album. Make some noise, MAZ. Jbpwave Chronicle. Live on the meeting stream.
So there's a line in the New Testament where Christ says that no one comes to the Father except through him, which is a hell of a thing for anyone to say. I am the way and the truth and the life. That's another one. Here's the idea. It's as if there's a spirit at the bottom of things that is involved in the bringing to being of everything. People talk about evolution as a random process, but that's not true. The mutations are random, but the selection mechanisms are not random. What are the selection mechanisms? Human females are very sexually selective. That's why twice as many female ancestors as male ancestors. So the male failure rate for reproduction is twice that of the female. How is it that males succeed differentially? Females reject. They reject on the basis of what? And the answer is, well, it's something like competence. How is competence defined? Well, men put themselves in hierarchies and they vote on each other's competence. Well, let's say you decide to follow the best leader in a battle. Well, then you don't die. Like, he might get all the women, but you don't die, so at least you're still in the game. And it might be the same if you're following the greatest hunter. And the greatest hunter wouldn't be the person who was best at bringing down the game. It would be the person who was best at bringing down the game and sharing it and organizing the next hunt and all of that. What that means to some degree is that there's a spirit of masculinity shaping the entire structure of human evolutionary history. That's what that means. It's the spirit of positive masculinity that manifests itself across epochal ages, millions of years perhaps. And it actually has shaped our consciousness. Actually. It's like the essential spirit of all the great men who defined what greatness constituted. That's a spirit. Well, that's a purely biological explanation.
Well, that's God.
God is the highest value in the hierarchy of values.
That's God.
God is how we imaginatively and collectively represent the existence and action of consciousness across time.
That's God.
God is that which selects among men in the eternal hierarchy of men.
That's God.
God is that which eternally dies and is reborn in the pursuit of higher being and truth.
But then there's another possibility too, which is that that's actually reflective of a deeper metaphysical reality that has to do with the nature of consciousness itself. I think that's true. I believe the biological case, and I believe the biologically reductive case, but I don't think that exhausts it. There's a metaphysical layer underneath that the biology is a genuine reflection of. And that's the macrocosm above and the microcosm below. We are really reflective, including in our consciousness, of something about the structure of reality itself. And that might involve whatever it is that God is. Well, that's God.
God is the future to which we make sacrifices.
That's God.
God is the voice of conscience.
That's God.
God is the source of judgment and mercy and guilt.
That's God.
God is what calls and what responds in the eternal call to adventure.
That's God. That's God.
MAZ makes some noise. That's God. That's God right there, baby. That's what that is. Yo. Make some noise for yourselves. It's a beautiful day to be alive here at the peak recorded human civilization. Shouts out to Luke Brubaker, says, just caught me a monolith. Oh! That's a powerful activity right there. You see this beautiful thing in the middle of my DJ booth, this beautiful steel sculpture, this structure, this beautiful thing. You can own one of these things. How about that? You can own one of these things. And shouts out to Luke, who just got one of those. Bop. Man like Luke Brubaker. What a guy. Shouts out to everybody locked in. How you feeling? Macchio Naz. More time for self-development. Bruh. Nice. I think I probably missed a good before that. Oh yeah, my co-worker snitched on me. And now my mother and I, we both work at the same company, can't work for 2 weeks. Yo, these snitches. God bless them. Pray for them. They need the spirit of the Father, by Jove. What?
Akira.
One of the things I tend to do is to look at symbolic representations through the lens of evolutionary biology, rather than assume
Smash that like
these
if you have not.
are mere superstitions that play no functions. Like the idea that there's a deity that's father-like. So it's a disembodied spirit in some sense that's eternal, that has eternal characteristics. It's like, okay, well, strip it of its metaphysics.
If you strip it of its metaphysics.
And just look at it as a biological phenomena. It's like, well, what might the idea that there's an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
What might that be a reflection of? Well, it's like, well, there's you imitating your father, but your father imitated his father, and his father, and his father, and his father imitated his father.
What?
So in some sense, what your father actually imitated was the pattern of fathers across time. And you can think of the transcendent father as the pattern of fathers across time. When a child imitates his father in pretend play, when I'm pretending to be my father, I'm observing my father across multiple situations, and then I'm abstracting out the commonalities in behavior and attitude across those situations that make him father. And then I incorporate that and dramatize it in my pretend play. It's unbelievably sophisticated. And so it's what the child is doing in pretend play is coming to embody the disembodied spirit of the Father. There's an eternal spirit of the Father, Spirit of the Father. There's an eternal spirit of the Father, Spirit of the Father. There's an eternal spirit of the Father, Spirit of the Father. There's an eternal spirit of the Father, Spirit of the Father. And so you think, well, that is a disembodied spirit. It's a disembodied spirit that's incarnated in the collective of fathers across time.
Collective of fathers across time.
And what is that? Well, it's a judge, that's for sure. It's a judge. Even when you interact with the hierarchy of men who are currently alive, something can be abstracted out of that. It's like the patriarchal spirit. And if you don't think that's judging you, you are not thinking. It's absolutely judging you. That's what rank orders you in a hierarchy. There's an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's
an eternal spirit of the Father,
Spirit of the Father, there's yeah! Spirit of the Father, Spirit of the Father, there's Spirit of the Father, Spirit of the the Son. Spirit of the Father, Spirit of the Father. MAC, God bless. Make some noise for yourselves. What? If you're locked in live, smash that like. If you've not yet smashed that like. If you have smashed that like, get your Rolls account out. And smash that like again, by Jove. The algorithms need sacrifice. Let them know.
People often ask me, do you believe in God? I don't like that question. First of all, it's an attempt to box me in a sense. And the reason that it's an attempt to box me in is because the question is asked so that I can be firmly placed on one side of a binary argument. The reason I don't like to answer it is because A, I don't like to be boxed in, and B, because I don't know what the person means by believe or God. And they think they know. And the probability that they construe belief and construe God the same way I do is virtually zero. It's a question that doesn't work for me on multiple levels of analysis. But strangely enough, just as we were talking, the answer to that question popped into my head. I act as if God exists. 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 Now you can decide for yourself whether that means that I believe in him, so to speak. But I act as if he exists. Then with regards to these other issues, the divinity of Christ, I would say the same. Problems with the question formulation obtain. What do you mean by divine? And also, what do you mean by Christ? These are very, very difficult questions. Now, I believe that the Logos is divine. If by divine you mean of ultimate value, of ultimate transcendent value, yes, it's divine. It's associated with death and rebirth. I act as if God exists because the Logos dismantles you and rebuilds you. I act as if God exists. That's what happens when you make an error. When you make an error, some part of you has to go. I act as if God exists. That's a sacrifice. You have to let it go. Sometimes it's a big part of you. I act as if God exists. Sometimes it can be such a big part of you that you actually die. Instead of dying and being reborn. Is there something more than merely metaphorical about the idea of dying and being reborn? Yes, there is. Because those are associated with physiological transformations. What's the ultimate extent of that? That's a good question. What happens to the world around you as you increasingly embody the Logos? We don't know. We don't know. I act as if God exists. I act as if God exists. I act as if God exists. As if God exists. The hypothesis is that there has been one or two individuals who managed that, and that in their management of that, they transcended death itself. So what do you mean by transcended death? Well, in the case of Christ, let's assume he was a historical figure. Is his resurrection real? Well, his spirit lives on. That's certainly the case. Let's imagine that a spirit is a pattern of being. Patterns can be transmitted across multiple substrates. Vinyl, air, vibrations in your ear. It's all the translation of what you might describe as a spirit. It's that pattern. It's independent of its material substrate. Well, Christ's spirit lives on. It's had a massive effect across time. Well, is that an answer to the question? Did his body resurrect? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happens to a person if they bring themselves completely into alignment. I've had intimations of what that might mean. We don't understand the world very well. We don't understand how the world could be mastered if it was mastered completely. We don't know how an individual might be able to manage that. We don't know what transformations that might make possible. I act as if God exists. I act as if God exists. I act as if God exists. I act as if God exists.
Make some noise by God's grace. You want grace. I want grace. We want grace. Hey, you want grace. I want grace. We want grace. Hey. Heaven and Hell Part 2. God bless the whole MEANINGWAVE autonomous zone.
I think that heaven exists and that we can produce it.
We can produce it.
But we're not going to do that by changing the behavior of other people.
We're not going to do it by changing the behavior of other people.
It exists as a possibility, as potential. You know, we also believe in the existence of potential, even though it doesn't exist. So someone would say to you, for example, you're not living up to your potential. And you know what that means, and you're willing to regard it as a genuine statement that reflects something fundamentally real. Maybe there's nothing more real about you than your potential, strangely enough. Well, so heaven and hell are potentials. That doesn't mean they're not real. And I think it's incumbent on people to work as hard as they can, not to fall into hell and to drag people there with them. And to work as diligently as possible to bring heaven onto earth as rapidly as we can. And I think that that's the sort of thing also that gives your life meaning, and you can start with trying to straighten things up around yourself that you can straighten up. It's a good way to begin, and you can do it. You can do it today. Carl Jung said that modern people do not see God because they don't look low enough. And I like that. It's like the injunction to not pray in public. Go home. Fix up the things you can fix up. Get good at it. And see what you can bring about. And if enough people did that, God only knows what we could produce, man. Who knows? What are the limitations of a human being? We have no idea. We keep transcending our limitations constantly. I think that heaven exists and that we can produce it.
We can produce it.
But we're not going to do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think that heaven exists and that we can produce it.
We can produce it.
But
We're not going to do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think that heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it. We're not going to do that by changing the behavior of other people. We think that heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it, but we're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it. We're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. I think heaven exists and we can produce it. We can produce it, but we're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. What up, MAC? Heaven and Hell Part 2. Heaven exists and we can produce it. But we're not gonna do that by changing the behavior of other people. You already know. Make some noise for yourself. What up, Maciana says, I think that MEANINGWAVE is the best thing that has happened to me in the last 10 years. God bless you. Thank you all for being here. Smash that like if you've not yet smashed that like. By Jove, we got 2 more songs of this Chronicle. What?
I've really been trying to make sense of this, because, well, what the hell's going on? Why am I selling out 3,000 person auditoriums? I use the stage, that's opportunity in real time to think. I've been thinking, well, if you're surfing, you don't confuse yourself with the wave.
The wave. The wave.
That's a real mistake.
You might be on top of the wave, but you're not the wave. The wave. The wave.
That's a real mistake.
You might be on top of the wave, but you're not the wave.
I think this long-form discussion and the public hunger for that is best conceptualized like that. There's a technological revolution.
Yes, deep one.
Online video and audio.
Akira.
Immediately accessible to everyone, all over the world. It's turned the spoken word into a tool that has the same reach as the printed word. So it's a Gutenberg revolution in the domain of video and audio. And it might be even deeper than the original Gutenberg revolution, because it isn't obvious how many people can read, but lots of people can listen.
The wave. The wave. The wave. You might be on top of the wave, but you're not the wave. The wave. The wave. You might be on top of the wave, but you're not the wave.
mean, you got a little bit of that with TV, right? And you got a little bit of it with radio. But there was bandwidth limitations that were really stringent, especially in TV, where you could get 30 seconds if you were lucky and 6 minutes if you were stellar to elucidate a complicated argument. So you can't do that. Everything gets compressed to a kind of oversimplified entertainment. But now, all of a sudden, we have this forum for long-form discussion, real long-form discussion. It turns out that everyone is way smarter than we thought.
The wave. The wave. The wave.
That's the real mistake. You might be on top of the wave.
The wave. The wave. The wave. You might be on top of the wave, but you're not the wave.
The people at the forefront of this are being cascaded forward like a surfer on a giant wave. On this technological transformation, it's necessary to keep your ego under control. With regards to the people coming to see me, the proper attitude towards that, and I think this is true for any performer, is gratitude.
Gratitude.
You bloody well be happy those people are there. And you should never think there's something spectacularly special about yourself that's attracting these people and that somehow you're above them and they're your fans, or there's this real power differential, even though that sort of manifests itself because people are so happy to see you. That's a dangerous pathway, and I truly am ridiculously overwhelmed and grateful and happy and pleased that all these people show up.
All these people show up! 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 Hey! Shouts out to all these people that showed up. By which I mean you, baby, you, directly you, who I'm communicating with right now, you beautiful creature, God bless. Make some noise, it's Akira the Done. This that meaning stream. 232, I do believe, 232 consecutive, consensual, glorious streams by Joe. 232 streams, 42 rules.
Tell the truth.
That is true.
Or at least don't lie.
Or at least don't lie.
Do not do things that you hate. Act so that you can tell the truth about how you act. Pursue what is meaningful, not what is expedient. If you have to choose, be the one who does things instead of the one who is seen to do things. Pay attention. Assume that the person you are listening to might know something you need to know. Listen to them hard enough so that they will share it with you. Plan and work diligently to maintain the romance in your relationships. Be careful who you share good news with. Be careful
who you share bad news with.
Make at least one thing better every single place you go. Imagine who you could be, and then aim single-mindedly at that. Do not allow yourself to become arrogant or resentful. Try to make one room in your house as beautiful as possible. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday, not to who someone else is today. Work as hard as you possibly can on at least one thing and see what happens. If old memories still make you cry, write them down carefully and completely. Maintain your connections with people. Do not carelessly denigrate social institutions or artistic achievement. Treat yourself as if you were someone that you are responsible for helping. Ask someone to do you a small favor so that he or she can ask you to do one in the future.
Persuasion.
Make friends with people who want the best for you. Do not try to rescue someone who does not want to be rescued. And be very careful about rescuing someone who does.
Yo.
Nothing well done is insignificant.
What?
Set your house in perfect order before you criticize
The world!
Dress like the person you want to be. Be precise in your speech. Stand up straight.
Stand up straight.
With your shoulders back.
Don't avoid something frightening if it stands in your way, but don't do unnecessarily dangerous things. Do not let your children do anything that makes you dislike them.
Akira.
Do not transform your wife into a maid. Do not hide unwanted things in the fog. Notice that opportunity lurks where responsibility has been abdicated.
Yeah.
Read something written by someone great. Pet a cat when you encounter one on the street. Do not bother children when they are skateboarding.
No.
Don't let bullies
Get away with it.
write a letter to the government. You see something that needs fixing and propose a solution. Remember that what you do not yet know is more important than what you already know. Be grateful. In spite of your suffering.
All the young dudes carry the news. All the young dudes carry the news. I'll see you when you get there. If you ever get there, I'll see you when you get there. Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. MAC! Make some noise for yourself. Jbpwave Chronicle. MEANINGWAVE Live 2020 AD. Shouts out to everybody locked in. What up, House Palmer? What up, Andula? What up, Cindy Bailey? What up, D-Man? What up, Sensi Beats? God bless you all. Apart from the people making up weird shit about me in the chat, that I do not appreciate. But aside from that, God bless. I think we got time for one more song. And this will be a new song. This is a new song from the new album. This song is coming out on Friday. It's We Don't Stop. We don't stop. Why would we stop when we have all of this opportunity for righteousness? By Joe. What?
Therefore, take no thought for the morrow, for the morrow shall take thought for the things of itself. Sufficient unto the day is the evil thereof. I spent a long time trying to figure out what that meant too, because it's another one of those lines that can easily be read as pro-grasshopper and anti-ant. Remember the old fable of the grasshopper and the ant? Maybe not. I'm not going to tell it, but the ant works and the grasshopper fiddles. The ant has a pretty good time in the winter and the grasshopper dies. And so this is like a pro-grasshopper line, but it's not. It says something else. It says that if you orient yourself properly and then pay attention to what you do every day, that works. That works.
That works.
That works. And you can
Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name that makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name that makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Yeah.
The world shifts itself around your aim.
Hey.
You're a creature that has an aim.
What?
You have to have an aim in order to do something. You're an aiming creature. You look at a point and you move towards it. It's built right into you. And so you have an aim. Well, let's say your aim is the highest possible aim. That sets up the world around you. It organizes all of your perception, what you see and you don't see, your emotions and your motivation. So you organize yourself around that aim, and then what happens? The day manifests itself as a set of challenges and problems. And if you solve them properly, you stay on the pathway towards that aim, and you can concentrate on the day. And so that way, you get to have your cake and eat it too. Because you can point into the distance, the far distance. Point into the distance, the far distance. And you can
live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name that makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name that makes every moment supercharged with meaning.
Ow! If everything that you're doing is related to the highest possible aim that you can conceptualize, that's the very definition of the meaning that would sustain you in your life. Well, and then the issue is back to Noah. Well, all hell's about to break loose and chaos is coming. It's like when that's happening in your life, you might want to be doing something that you regard as truly worthwhile. Because that's what will keep you afloat when everything is flooded. And you don't want to wait until the flood comes to start doing that. Because if your ark's half built and you don't know how to captain it, the probability is very high that you'll drown. And you can live in the day.
You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name that makes every moment supercharged with meaning. Live in the day. You're a creature that has a name. You have to have a name that makes every moment supercharged with meaning. MAC, make some noise for yourself. Brand new from Akira, the Don and Jordan B. Peterson, that's called Live in the Day. For the new album, you'll be learning more about this album and the manner in which it will be released later this week by Joe. But just know for now that this single is dropping on Friday on all streaming platforms. And it's epic. That's all you need to know, because that's true. It's epic! What up, though? Thank you all for being here. We're here every day at 7 CT, in case you didn't know. In case you didn't know, we're here every time the clock hits 7 in the CT. CT, that's Central Time. That's Texas time, baby. That's where we be. Every morning, 7 CT, we're on Twitch. Every evening, 7 CT, we are on YouTube. And when I say every, I mean every. We don't take days off. We made you a promise. We stuck to that promise. We ain't stopped. We ain't even came close to stopping. 9 vocal albums completed this year thus far. 15 albums released thus far. Not even slightly fucking around 2020.com. Thank you to everyone who supports the wave. Appreciate you, Matt Lally. Appreciate you, Makion Naz. Hey. Living the day. Hey. Living the day. Hey. Living the day. Living the day. Yeah. If you want to support the wave, you know what to do. You go to bandcamp.com. Go to Bandcamp. Download the records. Go to Spotify. Follow the playlist. I'll put the link for the official Jbpwave playlist in the description of this broadcast. Go follow that. Go follow the MEANINGWAVE Top 50 playlist. It's got the MEANINGWAVE Top 50 on it. We've got all sorts of playlists being added. I've got a bunch. Shouts out to Diverting Tales, Chief Archivist at the MEANINGWAVE catalog. You've been going through them archives, putting together all manner of beautiful lists of play. We got a whole bunch ready for you, baby. Shouts out to Bismarck, just got back from Louisiana. Shouts out to Mimi B. Shouts out to Michael in Seattle. Shouts out to the unpronounceable name. Shouts out to Cindy Bailey. Yeah. Hey. What up, Melinda K? Where was I? I was telling you about supporting the wave. Oh, yeah. You can click one of the links below and make a one-time donation via the Streamlabs or the PayPal. What else can you do? You can go to meaningwave.com. Get yourself an epic shirt. Get yourself a poster. Get yourself a monolith. Who else got monoliths? No one, that's who. No one else has beautiful steel sculptures that you can buy for a limited time. You can own one. Be like your homies who own them. Sway owns one. Brad bought one today. Shouts out to the whole crew. But of course, the most important thing you can do, if you want to help the wave, is let the people know. MEANINGWAVE exists! Yes, it do. That's right, Maria Lizak, Velvet Track Pants. Velvet Track Pants exist. MEANINGWAVE Velvet Track Pants. What a time to be alive. Thank you for being here. All that remains to do right now, I gotta say, is the International Buy 5. And tomorrow we'll be here. And, tomorrow's just a regular day, isn't it? Nothing is going on that would cause people to be doing something other than being on the meeting stream. Nothing is going on that would cause people to, lose their damn minds. Lose their blessed minds. Nothing's going on, is it? No. As always, brothers and sisters, the meaning stream will be your sanctuary. And you can come here and enjoy epic vibes, glorious vibes, victorious vibes, celebratory vibes, vibes of hope and glory and wonder, vibes of righteousness. If you require vibes of righteousness, Costanza, then you have come to and will be coming to the right place. We will be here tomorrow night, by Jove. we gonna have a party. Like we always do at this time. I got to shine, I got to shine. Now throw your hands up in the sky and join me for the dopamine hit of the night, the thing that makes everything alright. It's the By 5 by Jove. Yay! Mimi B says, you're amazing, Akira. Mimi B, you're amazing. And you're breathtaking. Maria Lizak, Sensi Beats. Everybody.
Good.
3, 2, 1. Hold that thing. God bless. Sweet dreams are made of these.